going on, everybody? It is Ricardo Amel with Box Office Ricky. This is week 40 of the box office, and it was a very interesting week. This is the weekend of October 3rd through 5th, and our Lord and Savior Taylor Swift has come back again to save the box office. Her brand new film, Life of a Showgirl, did gangbusters. All the Swifties came out to support. None of the Cappies, none of the Leos, none of the DeCappies came at all, unfortunately, to help save one battle after the other for its second weekend. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive into the numbers. Week one of Taylor Swift's film grossed $33 million. And keep in mind, this is not a live concert film. It was just an album release party film promoting the new album. It did huge numbers with, let's see here, it grossed $33 million. Wow. And 3,700 screens, an average of $8,914 per screen. And you know what? I'm pretty sure AMC Theaters, as the distributor, is pretty happy. If you don't know, AMC Theaters has been a theater chain lately that's kind of been struggling with debt consolidation. So this by far helps their bottom line. And then, of course, let's go into the second movie, the movie that we talked about one last weekend. One battle after another, Leonardo DiCaprio's movie falls by nearly 50% at only grossing $11 million. Pretty sharp decline for this movie. I think in a lot of ways, to be honest, I think a lot of people are probably waiting for this film to show up on video on demand. So I have a feeling it's probably not going to crack $50 million, or it probably will barely get to $50 million on its total run. But, I'm pretty sure that they were hoping for better box office numbers for a Leo DiCaprio movie. But anyway, yeah, let's move on to number three. Number three is The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, with his serious acting mode. Oh, it is The Smashing Machine. Now, I actually had a chance to watch this movie. I posted my review online earlier this week. Saw it Friday when it came out. Overall, I thought the movie was, but I think it's a great vehicle for, not Leonardo DiCaprio. I think it's a great vehicle for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to show off his acting chops. He does a phenomenal job. Although at times I do feel like he's playing a little bit of himself, but you could just really tell, like, he put his heart and soul into this movie. He's put his physique in his movie. He's probably in the best shape of his life. But unfortunately, The Smashing Machine, numbers-wise, did okay at $6 million. I mean, pretty lackluster numbers, especially considering the amount of theaters that were showing it, 3,345. That's pretty. But let's dive into the next film, a kids film that I still need to take my daughter to go see. It's Gabby's Dollhouse. It grossed $5.2 million in its, I believe, its second week. So its total thus far is $21 million, which honestly, for a Netflix, well, it's not a Netflix film, but it's the show itself, Gabby's Dollhouse, is on Netflix. That's actually a pretty good number. I mean, I think that might be, the show is on Netflix. The company that produces it or makes the movie is Universal Pictures. This might be a little bit of a, notch forward in Netflix starting to release more movies in theaters, because I mean, there's money there for them to grab. I mean, $21 million in 2 weekends is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, that's pretty good revenue in my book. And then let's go to number cinco. I think I had this right. Number 5. I might have got the other orders right. I apologize. Number 5, we have The Conjuring: Last Rites. This movie's been out for 5 weeks, still going freaking strong. It grossed $4 million. Its total thus far is $167 million and $167,804,806, down to the last dollar. So pretty incredible to think about. This is another Warner Brothers movie that, oh my goodness, like Warner Brothers is having an amazing year, and despite one battle after the other, another Warner Brothers distribution project or movie not doing so well, they're able to take that L because they've had so many big successes this year with Minecraft, with Superman, a couple other movies I'm forgetting to mention, but I mean they overall have been the uh, they've been the biggest studio this year with the biggest wins. And there's still other movies coming out this year that still will probably help them as well. Number six, we have in its fourth week Demon Slayer at $3.5 million at a 50% drop off. That's a Japanese anime. I don't know if it's Japanese, but it's an anime film. Its total, I mean, really good numbers for this. I mean, these are great September October numbers. We are at $124 million gross for that movie. I mean, theater chains are they're happy with these numbers, I think. And then at number seven, we have a re-release of Avatar: The Way of Water. That was the second Avatar movie. That one grossed at 3.194 million. And you could sort of tell, if you're starting to see more promotions for it, but the third Avatar movie is coming out this December, and James Cameron and team, Walt Disney Studios, they're not dumb. They're starting to hey, let's slowly get the zeitgeist to, hey, remember Avatar, guys? And they're drumming up that machine for the Avatar. So by the time December rolls around, we're thinking Avatar, and they're thinking, let's get that $1 billion box office number again like we did last time. And then number 8, we have The Strangers Chapter 2. Heard that movie sucked, but that's okay. Overall, its box office total is $10 million in its second week. It grossed $2.8 million. I heard this is a sequel that nobody wanted or just wasn't that good. And number 9 is another horror film. We have Good Boy at $2.25 million. And that's its first weekend. Don't know much about this film. All I know is that it's about a dog. Here's the synopsis. A loyal dog moves to a rural family home with his owners, only to discover supernatural forces lurking in the shadows. As dark entities threaten his human companion, the brave pup must fight to protect the ones he loves most. And interestingly enough, it's an IFC film. It's an independent film. So, let's see. Actually, the budget, did it say? Doesn't say. But, this is probably one that might do really well if by word of mouth and video on demand. So I actually probably will check it out. I think the reviews for it were pretty good. So I might definitely check it out. And number 10, rounding it off, is that Stephen King film, The Long Walk. Still haven't seen it. That movie, I think it did okay its opening weekend. In its fourth weekend at number 10 at 1.7 million, honestly, not really that great. I mean, its total domestic gross is $32 million. I heard the movie's pretty good, but to be honest, that might be another. Excuse me, I want to get some water. That movie itself might honestly be considered a little bit of a flop at $32 million. It's probably going to do really well on a Netflix or whatever streaming service it belongs to. Let's see, at number 10, it's Lionsgate, so probably end up on Netflix or one of those platforms here in the very near future. And just for grins, let me go ahead and name the 11 and 12 because I do think it's kind of interesting. We've got Downtown Abbey, did really well. I think, $42 million in 4 weekends for that audience. It definitely appeals to a certain type of audience, but I think it did really well at $42 million in 4 weekends. The one that I'm really kind of surprised by and disappointed at is not a lot of people showed up to watch the Jordan produced film, Him. Not directed. That's one big thing distinct. I know that a lot of people get that confused because it's all over that trailer. You see Jordan Peele's name, but he didn't direct it. It is produced by him. Him, this weekend at number 12, grossed a measly $1.25 million in its third weekend. Its total is a disappointing $23.4 million. And I find that very interesting because that movie was very marketed very heavily, especially if you're watching any football games this weekend. That movie was definitely very heavily promoted. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. I heard mixed things about the movie. I heard the review, it wasn't that good. It was dumb or whatever. So I don't know. It's one that I'm still maybe interested in checking out, but I'm definitely not going to go to the theaters to go check it out. I'm going to wait till it's on the old telly there. All right. So anyway, guys, that is all about the time I have. Thank you so much for watching. I am still trying to get better at this. You notice I've added some graphics, some things to just kind of jazz it up. But I appreciate y'all's time. And if you have any comments on how I can get better, please be nice. Just be nice. It's a very cruel world out there. I appreciate it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to walk us out with my outro, but you guys have a great rest of the week. And next week we've got a big one coming up. We've got Tron Ares, and I'm super, super stoked about that movie. It's going to have the soundtrack by Nine Inch Nails, and it's going to have pretty stale, cold-faced Jared Leto. The guy looks like wood. And what else is there? I just think the freaking special effects look freaking awesome. So anyway, I'll be recapping next week with Tron Ares. I'm hoping that movie does well, so they might produce more of those movies. But we'll see. The second one didn't do so well. This one looks promising. We'll see what happens. Well, guys, have a great, great rest of the week. Adios.